we're back. Shift timing. So you change that spring. It's like it's mechanical, so it can only do what it can do. So you're either over revved or you're under revved, right? Electronic, bam. You know, you tell it what's up. At least I'm pretty sure on those ones you can. I haven't done the research yet. I just saw another cool thing. So I had to get a new front pump and stator for the training because it got chewed up. It might have lived, but I mean that's risky, I think, with all that chewed up and damaged stuff on there. So I found this one, and it's a new old stock. I can't believe it. This thing's from, I think it, oh, look at that, 93, 6/9 of 93. So I opened this thing up and I took a big breath of air in. 93 air, you know, something different, right? It's really cool. I guess my biggest question is for this one is that seal. It's your torque converter. It's what seals onto your torque converter. I mean, that sucker's old, right? It's been in this box. It looks like it's been sealed. It's never been opened. You know, it's a pretty good rubber, I would imagine. And I mean, it'd be real B, put it in and things leaking because the seal's toast, you know. And you don't really want to be like grabbing it and putting your fingers on it either. You know, you put dirt on there. So I just haven't decided yet. I guess once I get there, I'll decide. I do have the new seal. I bought a new kit. I called WIT, Whatever It Takes Transmission, to get a lot of the parts because they actually have a good price on budget parts. But on the other side, I did order the bushing kit from them, and it's missing a bushing for the gosh, I can't even remember what this thing's called at the moment. I used to remember. It's been almost a month since I got out here, but anyway, that bushing, it didn't come with it. I'm like, you know, chasing parts is it's a battle in itself sometimes, especially when you don't know exactly what you need. You call these experts, and I guess you run into a lot of people that have a job that they're just not very good at. I would say WIT, actually, they're pretty good. I mean, how would they know that the bushings, I mean, you might think these have been around since the 80s, like, oh, this kit doesn't come with that bushing, but maybe he's a little newer. Anywho, no bushing. But I was looking this one over. I mean, it's got a little action on it, but it's really not that bad. Maybe there's a measurement I can mic it and just see if it's worn. But I think that baby's going in. You know what I mean? So I don't know, maybe I've rambled enough here, kind of giving you guys well, I don't know, I guess it's good to tell you exactly what I'm doing. Here's the valve body. It's filthy dirty, but I did get a Transgo shift kit for it. There's actually a few different kinds. It's funny too, because I found an old YouTube video, and I believe it was the shift kit, because Transgo, they were doing their own video on how, and they were doing some funky stuff to this thing. They had like a tube that ran from one of the valleys over to another. I mean, this thing was crazy. We're not doing that. We just needed to bang the gears a little harder. And I don't know if it ups the pressure or not. I haven't read through the whole thing or not. I don't know that it can. I mean, the pump can only achieve what it can anyway. But I think there's some laziness in the stock valve body that this will overcome, and it'll make things happen a lot faster, which is good when you're stomping on it. So we're going to do that. I'm a little intimidated, you know, because you're drilling holes in these valve bodies, but I mean, if you screw it up, just go get another one, you know, no big deal. We got a couple of the servos. They actually, so you have these bands, they ride over these hubs like this, right? So inside the case, you have, this is like, there's a spot on the case that holds this side, and then you have a servo hooked to the other side. And when it's asking for overdrive, that servo will lift up one of those. And it actually, that's what squeezes the band on the hub and gives you that drive. So you can imagine if you don't have the pressure to push that servo up, this thing's not gripping as much as it can, and then you get that cooked. So all this stuff's pretty important. With the AODs, the early ones, you got to have the tools to put in the, we'll just call it the seals because I can't remember what they're called right now. So you got to have these. They have lips on them, and if you just try and ram them in, you'll rip them and then it's over. So get the tools if you're doing an AOD. I think the newer ones, they bevel the edges inside, so you don't really need the tools. Those kind of tools to do them. You can get, this is what I use to build my my Dodge transmission. You just kind of roll it around the seal as you're adding a little pressure, and the seal will drop in. Not too bad. All this stuff, it looks so easy when you watch it, but there's a technique. And I would say a lot of the things you do, especially with tranny work and just the more particular stuff, it's hard because you haven't learned the technique yet. But practice, right? You'll get there. Then we have this other band, right? I don't even remember which one it is, but it's cool. We'll learn as we go. I tried to order, so I told Whit when I ordered my parts, give me the Kevlar bands, right? They're like, oh, okay. It didn't happen. And at this point, I don't care. Not to mention the overdrive band they sent me was the 2.5 inch, unfortunately. Because they didn't know the difference, surprisingly. So anyway, I got online, went Summit, found the Kevlar band for the overdrive, ordered it, total shit show. They can't get it to me. It's a mess. I ended up canceling the order. It's been over a month. And I found it on eBay. I mean, sometimes I have hesitation buying these things from eBay. You don't know how long they've been sitting around. I don't know if age has anything to do with the clutches. Because I imagine the clutch material is glued to the band in some sort. But they live in a harsh environment anyway, so that glue's got to be pretty good. So I went for it. I got one on eBay, and it was $10 cheaper, and it's already on its way. So we're getting there. That's why I'm kind of excited to get in the garage and start getting some of these hubs and the clutches put together. And because this tranny, compared to the 68 RFE, it's going to be easy. I mean, that's 6 gears. This is 4, basically. There ain't nothing to it compared. It may have its challenges, but I'm up for it. You know what I mean? We're just going to get it done. So let me know in the comments if you guys want me to video me putting, I mean, there's lots of videos out there watching guys that actually do this for a living, putting these things together. It'll be a lot quicker and simpler for you guys probably to watch that, unless you just like watching me ramble, because I'm doing a lot of that. I mean, these heads, I mean, ooh-wee, right? These things, I mean, they are gonna breathe fire. And I mean, not on a stock motor, but one day these things, I'll probably burn them down just cause, right? We're just gonna let it eat. The one thing Brutal was talking about is like, and it worries me too, is, you know, these cars are getting older. The new generation, I really hope they still love cars and these gas engines and things like that, but the parts are starting to like go away. You know, like we had the quarter horse Mo 8s, I think it is. I looked at them some years ago to mess with my Terminator. I was trying to figure out a way to tune it, and luckily I didn't touch it. But they're gone. Like, that's it. Those dudes have been doing it forever, and you know, they had enough, I guess. Like, you get to a point, it's over, right? So a lot of those guys are getting older, and there's nobody to pick up the slack. I kind of figured somebody might buy that company from them, though. But then you got the EPA. Like, it's getting tough. It's getting tough, like, to do any of this stuff anymore. I just can't believe people think this is ruining the environment, this horsepower stuff. It's this big in the world. This big, you know? Give me a break. I've even noticed now, though, it's kind of funny, you know, owning a diesel, the black smoke, you know, we all love to, you know, roll some coal. We even teach the kids about it. But you almost don't see it as much anymore here in Colorado. They'll give you a fine for rolling too much coal, you know what I mean? So I almost don't even like it happening anymore. Because you can make the diesel run pretty clean and still have the horsepower, because all that black smoke is just unburnt fuel, you know. It looks cool, smells cool, and I love what it does. But there's just so many people out in the world that just lose it when they see black smoke, you know what I mean? And I've gotten numerous letters in the mail, does your vehicle smoke? I'm like, absolutely. Because if it don't smoke, it's a joke. That was always my motto, but not anymore. Like, don't do it. They're looking. But it's calmed down. Like, there's not a lot of that happening anymore. We got the horsepower limitator right there. You know, we got the goods. It's going to sound right, and that baby is going to chop. Get that cam in it. It's going to be pretty sweet. You can see down the line. Got that hail damage, but it, you know, you go roadkill sometimes. You don't need the outside nice. Just get that baby running, and just see what happens from there. Ultimately, I might get this back together. Really decided I don't like a convertible. I've been looking for the notchback. I really like to get one of those. I like the look. I don't know. The wife and kids might like the vert. They just drive the thing. I don't know. Maybe we won't turn it up too much, but it's going to chop. So let me know in the comments if you want me to video this transmission build. We'll just give this a shot. Thanks.